All right, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 49 of my Gateway Experience. Thank you so much for tuning in. The purpose of these videos is to document my journey through the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience. The Gateway Experience is a series of 6 waves with 6 tapes. In each wave, I am currently on the second wave, entitled Threshold, and I am on the first tape of that wave. It's called Introduction to Focus 12. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos, go ahead and check some of those out because this experience builds upon itself. Sometimes there's a lesson, sometimes there's a vision, sometimes there's no lesson, and we just got to keep moving forward. And so let's jump straight into it. Right now, it is October 12th, 2022. It is 9:32 a.m. This morning, we woke up at around 7:30, so it has been an okay morning so far. And last night, I don't know what time we went to sleep, but my son, he keeps waking up in the middle of the night. And I had some very vivid dreams last night as well. But when I woke up this morning, I went ahead and did my morning routine, and then I did my Focus 12, Introduction to Focus 12 tape. And I do keep falling asleep in the middle of it. I thought I wasn't going to today, but I don't know if it's the mental fatigue going from Focus 10 to Focus 12, then back to Focus 10, and then back to Focus 12. And I was able to do that this time, but then coming back to Focus 10 after that was just, I lost track of what was going on. My brain just gave up, I guess. I got lost in the Focus 12 is really what it is. So that's part of it, though. It's better than before. Before, I was just falling asleep going from Focus 10 to Focus 12. And now I'm able to retain some of it. And it's good. It's making me more and more aware of, like, for example, last night when I was dreaming, I was very much aware that I was dreaming, and I wanted to go back into the dream and experience a little bit of what was going on there. And I just kind of want to build on some of the things that I talked about yesterday, which was standing outside of time and space, more or less. I know that's a very heady topic, but let's try to break it down a little bit, okay? So if we talk about dimensions, I think that's a very good way to initiate that. I realized this when I was in physics, I think in college. I was like a freshman in college, and I felt so excited that I finally figured it out. But it's just because of how much I practiced mathematics, and I looked at a graph, a mathematical graph with an x-axis and a y-axis, and that's a 2D, two-dimensional representation as we look at a sheet of paper. And so obviously it has height, and then it has length, and they call it range and domain, right, in the mathematical field. And when we add another one, another axis to that, which would be the z-axis, then you have depth, right? And that's just going back and forth. That's our three-dimensional space. That's basically the 4 dimensions of time space that we know, right? Well, what happens if you take away time from that? Well, what happens is you have a sacred um, concept, like an idea, for example. An idea is immortal because it never dies, unless the human race, which is why the internet is so powerful because of that concept as well. Because as long as there's people and as long as there's computers, anything that's on the internet stays on the internet forever. So that's pretty amazing as well. And so when we start to look at things in that realm, how do we achieve a certain state of balance to where we can polarize ourselves, as it calls in the Kybalion? How can we polarize ourselves towards the higher self? Well, this is where we get into Focus 12. And this is where we get into the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience. How do we do that? Is by realizing that we are not our physical mortal body, but we are so much more. First of all, we have to acknowledge that and understand that, and then begin to know it through practice. And that's what I've really gathered from the Focus 12. I don't want to get too much more into that. I could get into some of the concepts that are immortal, but I don't want to make this about religion. I just want to make it about my journey and also about you and your journey as you are observing and watching these videos, at least this video right now. And that's what I can say. I can say that a good way to align yourself with your higher self so that you're not bogged down into this physical reality and you're not changing so much and being washed away by all these waves that come and go. You can really start to surf on top of the wave. And the best way to do that I know in my 25 humble years of life that I've learned just searching the internet has been the Monroe Institute's Gateway Experience. It's the reason why it's so powerful is because it puts the responsibility on ourselves and it doesn't give away any of our power. We keep it all. And I know there might be some kind of questions when people might start doing this, like, oh, it seems like this is some kind of hypnotic trance or whatever. If anything, it's like self-hypnosis, if anything. And it's like, oh, maybe you're giving it away to Bob Monroe. No, because it's just a suggestion. It's just a guide. The guide that leads you to the top of the mountain is not controlling your actions, is not controlling your behaviors. He's just showing you the way. And the best thing to say right there is this is the way. I'm not a Mandalorian, but this is definitely the way. And so if you have any questions or anything like that for me, let me know in the comments down below. I love to interact with people. I know it's been kind of slow on the YouTube channel. I could go and maybe post these videos up on forums, networks that are more, the algorithm is going to be more favorable to me and to having these videos exposed, but I'm not focused on that right now. But if you go ahead and post a comment down below, I will certainly reply. So until next time, I will see you guys soon. Peace.